Good afternoon. Today, I'm going to tackle about the Hong Kong flu 1968. Here is the brief history and description about the flu. The 1968 flu pandemic, or the Hong Kong flu, was a classification 2 influenza pandemic whose outbreaks in 1968 and 1969 executed an expected 1 million individuals around the world, making it the mildest pandemic in the 20th century. It started by the H3N2, which is a strain of influenza. It was descended from H2N2 through antigenic shift, a genetic process which the genes is from multiple subtypes reassorted to form a new virus. Hong Kong influenza was one of the acclaimed flu pandemics ever. The first record of the outbreak in Hong Kong showed up on 13 July 1968. By the end of July 1968, huge outbreaks were accounted for in Vietnam and Singapore. In spite of the casualty of the 1957 Asian influenza in China, a little improvement had been made with respect to the treatment of such epidemics. By September 1968, the flu virus reached India, Philippines, northern Australia and Europe. That equivalent month, the infection entered California from returning Vietnam War troops, yet didn't get far reaching in the US until December 1968. It would arrive at Japan, Africa and South America by 1969. The outbreaks in Hong Kong, where the thickness is around 500 individuals for every section of land, arrived at the most extreme power in about 14 days. And during a month and a half altogether, from July to December 1968, anyway, overall passing from this infection topped a lot later. In December 1968 and January 1969, at that point, public health warnings and infection depictions were given in the logical and clinical diaries. Pre-event strategic risk assessment. The pandemic was banished in Hong Kong by increasing the public health communication and the number of treatment. The antibiotics was improved to fight the secondary infections and the limited fatalities. However, the Hong Kong flu killed almost a million people worldwide and thousands in the United States. In spite of the vaccine, the H3N2 is still a dangerous virus for vulnerable populations. During disaster, who are most affected by the global pandemic? Why? How did the world respond to the growing pandemic? The people of Hong Kong are the most affected by the virus, especially those over the age of 65 are most likely to die. Although the vaccine was made to fight the virus, it was picked in many countries. The Japan responded well in handling only a few numbers of people with illness, but in United States it is widespread and deadly. It also outbreaks in Vietnam and Singapore, and by September 1968 the flu also reached the country of India, Philippines, northern Australia, and Europe. Also in that same month, the virus entered the California from returning Vietnam War troops. Post-disaster. How did the world recover from the pandemic? The outbreak in Hong Kong, which lasted for 6 months from July to December 1968. The virus caused many deaths worldwide in December 1968 and January 1969. The disease was spread in other countries, but after 4 months, the vaccine became available. Major takeaway. How should modern society prepare against a resurgence of the global pandemic? The modern society should have enough and stable health facilities to accommodate sick patients and preparedness community that will assist and control the situation in the country.